Today's episode is one of those conversations that stays with you, not because of success, but because of the stories behind the scars. Our guest, Paule, also known as Peak Freen, is a creator, entrepreneur, and a man forged through loss, resilience, and relentless self-reinvention. Born in Toronto, he grew up between chaos, broken homes, and the streets, and somehow turned that into drive, discipline, and purpose. In this episode, we talk about the passing of his brother, UFC fighter Elias Theodorou, the loss of his father, his girlfriend, and close friends, and how all those moments shaped the man he is today. We dive deep into masculinity, pain, healing, ego, God, breaking family patterns, and what it truly takes to become the strongest version of yourself. This is not just a podcast episode. This is a reminder that no matter where you come from or what you've been through, you can still choose who you become. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nemology. Bro, welcome to the podcast. How are you, man?
Emo, thank you, brother. Appreciate you for having me.
For sure, man. I love that we met because I think the funniest thing about us is we're both from Canada.
Yep.
We're both from kind of the same neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And me being a big UFC fan, I actually followed your brother's journey on The Ultimate Fighter. And then when you followed me, I saw him like, oh, Elias, this sounds familiar. I click on him like, boom. Like, what's the chances?
That's the beautiful part about it, man. It is such a small world. You're from Hamilton?
Hamilton, yeah.
Correct, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice, yeah. And you knew Elias kind of briefly through the whole series.
I mean, we have the it was called Iron Tiger Muay Thai back in the day. A lot of my boys used to go there.
OG shit.
Now I think they call it Champions Gym or something. I haven't been in Canada for a while, but they, all that crew kind of knew each other. I mean, Canada, right? You got to represent. You know? Like we have George St. Pierre,
absolutely,
and then that was it for a while. And we're like, hey, we need more, right? So that was awesome. Yeah.
No, it is, man. And I'll state this real quick too for anybody, the viewers, your viewers, my viewers. Like Elias Theodorou, rest in peace, man. Truly an incredible specimen of a man, truly. And gone way too soon.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason that had to happen. I don't know, God had a plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. And that's one of the things that I feel like it's like my duty to do as well, is just keep that legacy going. He did such a great job of doing that, but
absolutely.
Rest in peace, brother.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I think there's something to be said, when you look at how easily people can go viral and become something that is for the masses to see. I think that's a very interesting thing that I've been looking at for a very long time. And there's a lot of people that they're just always in the spotlight. It's accidental for them.
Yeah.
It's like meant to be. It's in them. And I think you had a viral video that also happened just kind of accidentally. You weren't really expecting it.
Yeah.
But it kind of shows it's from the same family. Like, how's that? You have the Paul brothers, you have the Tate brothers, you have all these guys that it's kind of in them. And then some people, they try hard as you might, and it doesn't really work out that way. What do you think about that?
I think you nailed that, to be honest with you. I think that is a very real thing. Even for me, like, for example, I'll do certain things that to me are effortless. Like, I'll get on camera, I'll just be like, yo, blah, 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 this is what I'm doing, document my whole thing. To some people, that's terrifying, right? And that for me comes naturally easy. But I think that's also because I've been through a lot of loss in my life, personally speaking. And that amount of loss that I have been through has just been something that said, fuck other people's opinions.
Yeah.
And so for me, I can only speak on that from my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was super young, 21 years old, I think off camera I was telling you this a little bit.
Yeah.
I had lost my girlfriend Sabrina to suicide.
Yeah.
And ever since that day, I remember just being like, I'm going to do me. Like, and I think, again, I don't know if that comes in naturally with what other people are doing, or like what you said, the Tate brothers, the Paul brothers, or whatever the case is. But for me, it's more just like, man, you got one life to live, dude. And that's been the double-edged sword that I've had the blessing to live through.
Yeah.
Is that level of challenge, that level of loss, which has been like very painful, but at the same time creates you into the man that you are.
Oh man, it has never been truer for me than this year. This year, I lost my best friend of 20 years, my best man at my wedding, my koom. For us in Serbia, that's something super, super important. They say, God is in heaven, but your koom is on the ground, on earth with you, right? And that was the biggest, toughest loss for me. And I'm an only child, so that was my brother. And it just happened so suddenly. It happened way too soon, way before the time. And I think the only way that I've been able to truly cope is not by trying to understand, but more so by just letting go.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that also pisses me the fuck off, because I'm like, I'm the type, I have to understand something.
Fuck.
Like, what the like, what? Give me a
Why?
reason why.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Absolutely.
it just makes you feel so insignificant, so small. It's such a fucking ego check. It's a slap in the face, and you're like, bro, I can never move past this if I try to understand it. And the more that I try to let go and kind of give it up to God, be like, look, you know, God knows best. Give it like help me deal through this, and ask for that help. It kind of, you go the other way, but you got to let go of that ego struggle of always being in control and knowing why things happen.
Absolutely.
So,
and I'll touch to that too, just real quick, man. It's like, I know with Elias, I said this, I was like, when I got the call that he even had cancer, even when he had passed away, he was 34 years old, man. He was a top athlete. Like, this made no sense. It would have made more sense if I had gotten a phone call saying, hey, like, bro just got fucking shot in the back of an alleyway in Las Vegas. Like, something. Cool, makes sense. Some jealous asshole got into a fight with him, and, you know, just popped him or whatever whatever happened. But like, this was something where it was like, dude, the hardest part is, like, I'm personally someone that struggles with, like, mental health. Like, people look at my life online, they think I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. Yeah, I am, but it's also because I put in a lot of fucking work. I do the personal development, you know, on a daily basis. But for someone like Elias, the thing that it still left me unanswered to this day was he was actually a happy guy, like, all the time. Like, of course, he had battles that he would fight, like, off camera and all that, like any normal human.
Of course.
But even to the very last breath, bro, he was literally like, dude, don't even talk to me. Like, he would get pissed off. He'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going to make this through. It was a hero story. He was so, like, convinced that this was just something that was happening, and he was going to use it to be a better version of himself. And I remember, this was a man, you got to remember, he walked around at maybe 210, 215, 200 pounds, right? Again, a stallion of a man, more healthy than obviously like 90% of people. And I saw him disintegrate like a fucking Holocaust survivor. Like, I'm talking maybe like 100 pounds or something, you know? In the bed that, in the apartment that he was in, which I was living there with him at the time too, prior to him passing away. But it's just crazy, man. It truly is, And I'm sorry to hear about your coon.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, man.
So you understand.
Loss is something that, you know, it builds us, man. It builds us. And I think that, you know, that fuck it factor that a lot of people have, I think it's a muscle, and I think it's exercised, and you can either let it get to you, or you can build that fucking muscle. So the next time that shit goes wrong, it's not always that you lose a brother. It's not always that something as tragic happens, but there's a lot of little inconveniences in life that are, you know, not even 10% of that. But that fuck it muscle, as you train that, I feel like the less shit that gets to you, the faster you move, the bigger momentum you're able to build. And like you said, that's why, you know, you get in front of the camera, you're comfortable, you're good. I mean, for me, like, I you know, I've gone through various crazy, extremely traumatic experiences in my life. I was in a refugee camp, I was in the war, all these things. And it's like, you know, that stretches your psyche in a way that thinking about what somebody thinks about you online or even in person,
dude,
is not very relevant.
No, it's not. Not at all. Not at all, man. And you kind of shake that off. Like, it's just like, okay, man, like, cool. Even for me, I've been in sales my entire life. So making close to like probably over like 500,000 phone calls. I'm getting told, go fuck yourself. Why are you calling me? Like, you hear it all. Rejection, right? So to me, someone's opinion is just another rejection that I'm just like, okay, cool. On to the next. Like, your opinion has literally no significance to what I'm going to do with my life.
No, absolutely, dude. And you know, I think sales is one of the best ways to get rid of that.
It's the best.
You get the door slammed in your face, people hang up, fuck you, don't call. And after a fucking couple, you're like, all right, bro, some people are just mad. You can't change them.
Dude, to this day, though, like, sometimes you'll have a bad run, and
Yeah.
you're just like, all right, man, maybe this ain't for me.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm talking like
Yeah,
10
yeah.
years in. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
you're like, fuck.
I'm gonna hang up the jersey, man. Like, maybe this actually isn't for me anymore. Like, damn. And then it's like, oh no, I just went through a wave of no's, which only means inevitably that you're gonna hit the yeses. But stick the course, see it through, do your thing, and
Yeah.
have some confidence in yourself. That's all it is.
Yeah, man. I agreed, 100%. Dude, what's your origin story? Where you from? What's up?
Toronto, Ontario.
Yes.
Yeah, born and raised in Toronto, Canada. Small town north of a town called Brampton. I grew up. I say I grew up in Bolton. Bolton, Ontario was a small town. I say that because that's where my life really like took place, to be honest with you. My parents separated when I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Never really thought that had any type of relevance to me until I hit like maybe 21. I was like, oh, maybe that's where that comes from. Like, mom's not in the house, XYZ. But when I was grade 6, maybe it was like when I was like 14, 15, I grew up in this town called Bolton.
Yeah.
And I was definitely not the easiest kid for my parents. And when my parents were together, they had a great life. Like, in fact, I remember we grew up in a house that my dad created. He was like in the construction company.
Yeah.
He was very good at craftsmanship and building houses and all this stuff. He built like a dream home, dude.
Yeah.
Like, very like wealthy looking house. But when my parents separated, it all went down the drain. And I think that's also subconsciously why I have this ambition to always want to strive for more, because I remember it like it was a dream. Like, I was like, dude, like, we used to have the big house. Like, all my cousins used to come over to our shit, and this was cool. And then it just got stripped away from us. And then shortly after, man, that's where I got into like selling drugs. Like, when I was in grade 6, started doing all that stuff. I shortly left Bolton because pretty much got kicked out, like, to be honest. I got into a lot of trouble with law enforcement at that time. My parents were like, all right, enough is enough. This was grade 10. So you got to think about it like, as a young kid, these are your friends. These are everything you know. You don't want to leave. And I'm in the borderline of being like, all right, my parents are telling me like, we're leaving, and either you're coming with us or you're not. And long story short, I made the effort to go with them. And then that's where we moved into more of inner city, Mississauga. Mississauga. So specifically in Meadowville, MDV, Money, Drugs, and Violence. That was the abbreviation for MDV. Dude, my parents wanted me to slow down, and it just ramped up. For real, it really did. And I graduated out of MDV, grade 12. And then when I was about maybe 17 or 18, that's when I was on my own ever since that time. And I was living with a friend down in, not Moss Park, but Dundas and Sherbourne, one of the worst neighborhoods in Toronto. Roaches in the building, everything like that. Around that time, though, that's kind of where I was like, you know what, I need to make a change. Energetically. Like, I was like, I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be 30 years old, still selling drugs and not really having any purpose in life. You know what I mean? To a certain degree.
Absolutely.
And then ever from there, man, that's where I really got into sales, like hardcore, like real first job in the city, financial district, downtown. That was really cool, and I was just trying to kind of clean up my act from there. Yeah.
Well, dude, I think drug dealers are some of the best businessmen that exist. I mean, not that I condone it or promote it, but to be honest,
of course, hypothetically,
I've hired a lot of drug peddlers for my sales company. And, it was one of my interview questions. I'm like, have you ever sold drugs?
Really?
And they're like, oh, well.
Get out of here. You won't make it. You won't last. Get out.
And I was like,
28 grams.
No, bro. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Did you do it? And he's like, well, yeah, in high school, a little bit, this and that. And I'm like, you know what? You're hired. We're going to give you a shot. You know? But the other side is the thing. They're extremely talented. Yeah. They can get the sale, but they struggle with consistency. Yeah. And that was something that was always like, they would come in, they would make a bunch of money and then disappear. They got to go spend it. They got to go lose it. And there's that karmic, energetic cycle that I think happens in the minds of people like that have those talents, and they're not, there's no guidance there. Yeah. And I feel like I was very, very fortunate in my life that I had very strict discipline and guidance. Yeah. Even though it wasn't necessarily constructive always, leading me down the path of my purpose or what I want. Yeah. But it was extreme consequential discipline of the community, of everybody. Like, for example, my dad, like, I consulted on certain things, and I was like, look, I'll tell you what to do in this problem, but I'm not a part of it. Right. So that was like, like my kind of like, hey, right. I'm not, but I'll tell you what to do, so like, that was like kind of my thing. Understood. And my dad, he was a supervisor manager at a company that all the young kids worked at.
Right.
So everybody my age, younger, older, me, everybody worked there. So he knew everybody. So I couldn't do anything without him finding out. So
Interesting.
it made me
Crazy.
even more creative
Yeah, of
into
course.
how I get into trouble or whatever.
Yeah. It kept
And
you on your toes.
exactly,
Yeah.
100%. And when I finally started doing sales, I did filter queen sales, like door to door vacuum cleaners. Then I got into HVAC sales, and that was like some of the most rewarding experiences ever. And it was a big slap in the face too, because I'm like, well, I'm not that good.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I convince anybody of anything, I sell water to a fish,
Yeah.
ice to an Eskimo type
Yeah.
shit.
Okay.
And then you go in there and I'm like, bro, I just fucking knocked on 300 doors today and everybody told me to fuck off.
Bro,
Like, what the fuck?
door to door specifically will really put you to the test. It'll humble you very
Yeah.
quickly. Right?
Yeah.
Especially if you come in like with that kind of like, I don't want to say attitude, but kind of attitude of like, oh, dude, like what you just said, I could sell, water to
Yeah.
anybody or whatever in this situation that needed it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn, dude, that'll show you, that'll teach you. But it's good because you have that in you for wanting to obviously progress with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have been where you are right now.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
think so.
And you know what? Like knowing the outcome has never excited me.
Yeah.
It's always the unknown
Yeah.
that I can force to happen or make happen or convince that or something that I get to do my input. Like trading time for money has never been appealing to me ever. Even if it was like $1,000 an hour, $10,000 an hour,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what it is. Anything that is like that expected result, I'm always like the never, like, what do they call it? Like the never ending optimist.
Right.
Where I think I'm leaving something on the table.
Right.
They're like, well, what do you mean? It's like $100 an hour. That's amazing. I'm like, yeah, but it could be 1,000.
Yeah.
It could be 10,000. It could be 10 million. You could partner. You could
Yeah.
do this and that. I'm always like, what's the best case scenario? How do we shoot for that instead of just limiting ourselves to this? And I think that a lot of young kids that are in those situations, if they get into some kind of sales, there's a ton of online high ticket offers right now. And today's, there wasn't as many when we were young.
Absolutely.
Like make money online, selling shit from like, what are you talking about? Wolf of Wall Street shit? Like,
Yeah.
how do I even get into that?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I got $5 fucking grand on the line right
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
But that's something I would suggest that people like that, like if you're dabbling with that, like just get into this.
For sure.
And I mean, look, I've hired fucking 16-year-olds. I'm like,
Yeah.
can I physically, legally pay you? Yeah, you have your SIN number, done. You're
Yeah.
fucking hired, hit the phones. That's it.
For sure. And even for me too, it's like, do I like you? Like,
Yeah.
do I actually like who you are as a person? Can I sit across the room from you and vibe out and be like, all right, dude, let's wrap up, take a break, hop in my car and go like chop it up and like
Yeah.
get some food or whatever. But for me, I was always like selling was always in my blood, man.
Mhm.
I remember from the time when I was like 12 years old, I used to be heavily into skateboarding.
Yeah.
This was also in Bolton. And I remember there was a community center and there was a skate park and the closest community center where people would buy drinks and get food was maybe like a 10-minute walk away.
Yeah.
I used to show up to the skate park with a cooler and I would steal essentially my dad's Coca-Cola, the ginger ale, all the soda, even the sandwiches, bro, where it got to the point where it was called Lair's $5 sandwich.
Holy
Steak
fuck.
sandwich and we got chicken and I would just sell it for like $5 a piece or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a dollar a soda. I would kind of take the cigarettes from my mom's boyfriend at the time. I'd sell those for $1. It was always like it like led up
Something,
to it.
something,
And then
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
all right, we need a little more money now. Like and it was like
yeah.
but transitioning from like that entrepreneurial spirit of like being like, okay, I just needed the right direction or the right avenue to point this into was one thing. But then when I started actually getting into like sales, I was very clear from the very beginning that I knew I wanted my remote freedom.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you know what, I'm good at this. I'm naturally good at sales and I'm constantly putting in the work to get better. Why don't I just sell something super high ticket like luxury real estate?
Yeah.
Why? Because I don't want to stay in Toronto. I always knew that I wanted to be remote. I said very specifically, I want to be able to have a dart, throw this dart on a map, and as wherever this dart lands, I want to make sure that as long as there's Wi-Fi there, I can work.
Yeah.
And that's the life that I've created for myself now. That's how I got down to here
Yeah. Yeah.
and funded this for the last, 7 years or whatnot. But that's kind of how it went down.
No, dude, that's amazing, man. Switching gears a little bit, what would you say is your darkest moment or defining moment?
Oof. Darkest moment or defining moment. I mean, I'll frame it like this. Again, I've been blessed to deal with a lot of challenges in my life, and one of the themes, like I mentioned earlier, was loss.
Yeah.
So like I said, right, I lost my girlfriend when I was 21. That was to suicide. I lost my dad in 2021. He died of cancer as well. I held him in his hand. Me and my siblings were around the same table. I saw him take his last breath. Following year, 2022, that's where I lost Elias.
Yeah.
2023, I lost my best friend here in Bogota, actually.
Yeah.
So there's been this common theme, and when you ask me a question like that, it's hard to pin it down to one specific, emotion or one specific time. But for me, I really do feel like overcoming that loss of people who are very significant to your life,
Yeah.
it's hard, man. It's one of those things where it's like you said, it's like you question shit. It's like,
Yeah.
what's the point of this?
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
longest time, I didn't believe in God.
Yeah.
This is just as like the last 2 years, I really started to kind of open up and search for that relationship because I used to be very spiritual, universe, but I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
hold on, right? Like, what's up with God? Because all my successful friends, they all praise God, they all get down to God, and it's like, let me see what's going on here. But I never had that connection. So for me, man, it's kind of just going through those losses of again people that meant the world to me. Like my girlfriend, this isn't just like losing your dog, and I'm not saying losing your dog is insignificant. I'm
Right.
just saying from my perspective here, it's like that's the girl that I was intimate with for a year. You know what I mean? It hits a little different. Your
Yeah.
father, obviously, that's a different type of relationship. Your your bro or whatever the case is, right? Every loss is different, and it's gonna hit differently. But going through those motions, that's what I think is the recipe to making a real man on the other side. You're letting it make you or break you. If that makes sense.
I believe that 100%, man. Yeah. Yeah, we said it, loss is what kind of defines you and how you deal with it. Um, but sometimes, and you mentioned God. I mean, God, absolutely one of the biggest influences in my life as well. And
Mm.
I had the same journey. It was just, like
Skeptical?
skeptical, but not so much skeptical, just kind of like, didn't really grow up in like a way that it made sense. Like we grew up in a communist country, like religion was illegal. A lot
Yeah,
of my parents, they kind of like, they went through 10 years of war. And then they're like, well, what God? What are you done with God? Like, how do
yeah,
I, like, yeah, sure, there's a God, but I mean, I got to take care of myself. It wasn't like this,
yeah,
like, education where you're like, this is how you access, this is how you
yeah,
pray, this is how, nothing. So when it came to, the universe and law of attraction, manifestation, and all this shit, there was so much like woo woo buzz out there on
for
that
sure.
that I kind of like fell into that for a little bit. And then eventually kind of found my way back to God as like an adult because I ended up actually looking at it from like a grown standpoint. I was like, well, what actually makes sense to me
Yeah,
instead of like what I'm hearing from everybody else.
for sure, man.
And that's kind of how I, found myself back. Um,
Dude, even just to touch on that part too, it's like I constantly to this day struggle with like that logical side of
yeah,
like, hey man, you want something, go after it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like fucking eat what you hunt and kill type shit. And then there's like that other side where it's more spiritual, it's more like God driven, where it's like, this is God's plan. Like
Yeah,
if like, and that's like the complete letting go, like that's the vulnerable side. But there's something still in me to this day where I'm like, no, I need to change it. Or like what you said, I
yeah,
need to control it to a certain degree. Like for me, the rule of thumb that I have is like, I want to just control the controllables.
yeah.
Anything outside of that scope, it's not in my hands. But if I
Boom,
can control it, then I'll do my best to obviously make it work with the alignment of what I see to be what I want the outcome to be.
boom. There's a clip. I love that.
Right? That's what I think it is. There
I
you
want to
go.
control the controllables.
Give me the
Fuck yeah.
fucking button.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think that's the truth because otherwise you're just gonna stress yourself, man. And it's like when you deal with loss like that, everything else gets easier. It's like
Mhm.
you're fucking complaining about your lawnmower not working. Like it's like
Yeah,
this isn't a problem. Like
no,
this is just dumb shit that you're like.
yeah,
It's not. It puts it into perspective now. It's like hold on, let me use my North Star as something that can kind of lead me or guide me into something to say, hey, this is like an actual situation that needs attention or
yeah.
it isn't.
No, no, I
Let it
hear
go.
that 100%, man. Your biggest mentor,
Yeah. Someone I know
some
or
someone that is a big influence in your life that's maybe perhaps changed your opinion about things. Somebody that you don't
yeah.
have to know them. Like Tony Robbins has changed a lot of lives. People never met him in their life, but they say that that's one of their biggest influences or mentors in their life.
Yeah. If it's someone that we don't know, I'm a big fan of Andrew Tate,
Yeah,
for real. I
yeah,
am. He said a lot of things that I think just like like all these other young men out there that resonate with
Yeah, yeah,
from when I was just young before he even came out online, you know? Like what I mentioned, like if you go through certain things in life that are super challenging, like the loss that I have been through, waking up every day with a smile on your face is hard to do. It
mhm,
really is. So when you start hearing certain things like, hey man, like you've been through that, but like nobody cares. As a man, you're only as useful or valuable as you are useful. You need to drill that into your head, you know,
yeah,
because it's easy to just skip the entire day and then kind of fall into a depression or whatever, right? So if we're talking about something like someone like who I don't know who is a mentor, I definitely appreciate the valuable insights that he says online. But my mom,
your
if it's
mom.
someone I
Yeah,
know, for sure, my mom. My mom's one of the strongest women that I know. She's my queen. She's my angel. She's my number one fan, you know, and she's really like I obviously have other family members and whatnot, but she's like all I have left in that regards to like a mother and a father
yeah, of
figure,
course,
right?
yeah,
I just seen her struggle so much, dude. And seeing her get up and go after it again and again and again is just something that you'll never forget growing up as a kid. And she just did such a good job with me. I could cry, honestly, just thinking about it. To be honest, like I get sentimental speaking about her just because, bro, yeah, it's one of those things, man. She's a true warrior for real. And she just did such a good job of instilling the belief in me from a young age.
yeah.
Hey, you're worth it. Hey, you're fucking meant for greatness and all that shit. I get sentimental talking about my mom for real.
Hey, listen, you know what they used to say is, uh, the man that has his mother's love is destined to be king.
I never heard that.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. I think only like a father can put a lot of discipline in you. He can put a lot of work ethic, hard things in you, but a mother feeds your ego. A mother feeds your soul. A mother
Mhm.
makes you a champion. You need the mother's love. My mother's the same way, and I think that I learned so many great, amazing things from my father, and it made me the man. It made me know how to be a man.
For sure.
But to have the inner strength, the inner confidence, the inner just bullshit to
Yeah.
know that, you know what? Right now, I'm nothing, but I believe I can be something.
Yeah. Huge.
That comes from a mother.
Huge. Yeah, that does come from my mom.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. And like, man, my relationship with my dad was like, it was a rocky one, dude. Like, I got away with murder with my dad. So I lived at his house even when I was like still
Yeah,
selling
yeah,
drugs
yeah.
out of his house and things
Yeah.
like that. I never got away with that with my mom, but with my dad, we had a very rocky relationship in regards to just like he was extremely verbally abusive to me. And I love
Mm.
my dad. Don't
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
everybody like I don't want anybody thinking that I'm talking shit about my dad, but I'm just speaking the truth. Like he was
Yeah.
very verbally abusive. Like he would make names up, like you stupid motherfucker, shit for brains, retardo, like you name it, it
Yeah.
I got told it. And honestly, that was something that I struggled with and kind of still do struggle with to this day, where it's like, am I smart enough? Am I good enough? Like, am I intelligent enough? Because all I heard from fucking age like 12 to like 19, 18 from when the time I left my house was like, you stupid motherfucker, you shit for brains. Like, eventually that kind of catches up with you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then at the
Absolutely.
time, I didn't really think that that was the case. But when I hit 21, 22, I found myself in situations being like, damn, like, again, am I smart enough? Am I good enough? And like, thank you for those, like, those experiences because now I can't wait to be a father and not do those things. And like
Mm.
now I know exactly how to not act and how to become the better version of me when I show up for my kids
Yeah.
one day, you know?
Yeah.
And this is like we're talking about, you know, you're Tianis Malaka, right? Like you're Serbian?
Yeah, Serbia. Yeah,
Serbian,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I have a Greek background
Yeah.
and like my dad was an incredible dad. He showed up for me when I got arrested. He was the first person at the door.
Yeah.
He just showed his love in a form of how he knew to show his
Yeah,
love,
that's right.
but
Yeah.
he was always there for me.
Yeah.
I'll never knock that.
Yeah.
He was an incredible man till the day he fucking died.
You know, there's an interesting thing that happened to me when, my dad came from a background of um extremely hardworking,
Mhm.
village farm lifestyle.
Same as mine.
And his father actually was the entrepreneur businessman that left, went to Germany, made money, came back, bought land.
Interesting.
And my dad stayed on the farm, sort of being used by his uncle. Hey, we need this done, we need that done. And his first cousin actually got the bigger benefit of my grandpa's money because he was the one that's like, oh shit, new sports scoop. I'm going to Montenegro, which is like fucking 8 hours away with the money. I'm gone for a week.
Yeah.
Come back. Fuck, I spent the money. I need whatever.
Yeah.
And then my dad was the type of guy, like his dad would give him money. And my dad would go play basketball, play marbles, or play whatever, in school, and come back. And the money's like not even usable anymore because it was just in his pocket. He never spent it.
Yeah.
So he's never been like a big spender, nothing like that.
Same as mine, dude.
It was just, it's like, it's whatever, he was just. So when it came time to, be friends with my father as like an adult, it got worse and worse. And we even ran a business together, and that was one of the hardest things ever because he's so fair, and I'm like, bro, we're getting fucked. And he's like, but how can you go and say this to someone? I can't do that. I just can't. Like, this is what's fair. This is what's right. This is what's just. I can't go. Like, I'm not for that. So he's like, I would rather suffer and work through it myself than go ask somebody for something that I don't think is fair.
That's that pride.
That's that pride.
That's that European pride. Yeah.
And I'm like, but it's business, bro. He's fucking trying to fuck up. Business war. That's what it is.
It is. Yeah.
And a lot of times, whatever you negotiate, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like if we negotiate something and you negotiate 90 and I negotiate 10,
then
that's what's fair. If we both agree, that's what's fair. It doesn't have to be 50. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what's done. It's not 50-50.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like, we ran into those kind of disagreements and issues. And I actually had, I went to this like weird thing. My dad actually brought me there, and it was the weirdest thing. I dislocated my shoulder in rugby, and I had like immovable pain for like 7-8 months, and it wasn't getting better. And I lost full range of motion in my arm. I couldn't do anything. And this is a little bit woo woo. I didn't believe in this, but my dad's like, hey, my buddy, we play soccer with this guy. He can help. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're telling me you play soccer with this? He's gonna help.
What the fuck are we talking about here?
All right, let's go. So we go there, and he's like, he's gonna help. I'm like, what is it? Tell me. Like, is he a fucking orthopedic? Is he chiropractic? What? No, he's just a guy. He just knows what to do. I'm like, okay. So we go there, and this guy is like some kind of healing master. I don't really know what it is or what he does or how.
Sure.
I guess some kind of form of Reiki is what they call it or whatever.
I actually have an experience like this as well, where it's like his name was Master Lee. This guy came from like a shaman monk background type shit, and like he would touch you and your body would electrify or some shit, like whatever it was, Reiki or whatever. Yeah,
no,
crazy,
dude. Like, this is the craziest thing that happened. So my dad actually led me to this, and like, I don't believe in everything, but you know what? If it exists, there is some truth to it. I mean, even fiction becomes reality sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's ways to figure things out, right? Like, 150 years ago, like, men can't fly. Now we got airplanes.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say what's real and what's not. Like, it's a very interesting reality we live in. So that's why I don't like, dismiss anything that easily, and I don't really go for it. But I'm just kind of like, all right, let's see what happens. So as I went into this, he kind of like put me under a hypnotic spell through conversation. Just started talking, and I just went out, and I'm like, what the fuck? But I was still awake.
Okay.
And I went through this crazy experience where he was just asking me questions and I was giving answers, but it was nonsense. It was like gibberish.
Right.
So he's like, so like, what do you feel now? And I'm like, I feel like a car. And he's like, why do you feel like a car? I don't know. The car is gone. Where did the car go? Well, the car got squished into nothing. Okay, then what happened next?
Okay.
It was like nonsense conversation.
Right.
And as this happened, I felt my grandpa come with like an axe, and like he like cut me into a square. So all of this stuff disappeared, and I turned into a little ball, and I felt like I traveled up my spine into like my like crown chakra, jewel, whatever.
Right.
And my vision turned purple, even though my eyes were closed, but all I saw was purple. And I was telling all this to this guy. And then when I snapped out of it, he like I was sitting like this. He came at me from the left side, and I knew I could never hug people from my left side because I couldn't extend my arm that way. And I just naturally went like this, hugged him, and I was like,
fixed.
What?
Cured.
Oh, and he was like, yeah. And I started crying, and he's crying. He's like, that was beautiful. Like, yeah.
That's a moment.
And that was a moment.
That's a moment.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
He's like, what did you see? And I'm like, I saw purple. And he's like, purple is the healing chakra. That's amazing. You awakened your whatever the fuck. And I'm like, oh, fucking great. I can move my arm and throw shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then,
the basics.
Yeah. I'm like, this is great. And I went to him one time after that because I saw that. I'm like, there's a clue here. I'm like, my father's never been able to guide me towards the business and
Mm,
entrepreneurial life that I wanted, but he's always given me everything.
right.
And accidentally somehow brought me to here to heal me. I want to go back. So I went back to him. I talked to him. I'm like, I want to fix my relationship with my dad. He's like, well, I don't really deal with that. I mainly deal with like physical like issues. And I
Interesting.
said, look, this is as physical as it fucking gets because this is painful as fuck. And I fucking hate this, that we can't get along, we can't get on the same page,
Wow.
and I don't want to have a life like this. So he says, you know what, let me tell you a story. He tells me a story about his father. And his father was a super extremely religious man that has a son that's a fucking healer. So
Mm,
he's like, this is bullshit, what the fuck? So they had a huge clash.
got it.
So he shared his story with me. Again, I kind of went under, shared some stories, whatever, woke up, and he said, all you can ever expect from your dad is that he's going to be who he is. And all you can do to fix your relationship is just accept him and don't have reactions to whatever it is. Just accept him. Just try to
Yeah.
accept him because as
Great
he
advice, by the way.
as he is your father and he gave life to you, you are also responsible for him because you are the new generation that has to take care of the old. And so I was like, what? And he gave me this different perspective on father-son relationship where he's like, as responsible as he is for you is how responsible you are for him, except the scale is growing because he's responsible for you for like 18 years. But you're responsible for him from 18 until he's gone. And I was like, what? And he's
That's a
like,
crazy mind.
it
That's a moment, yeah,
it's
too.
it switched for me. And I was like,
Yeah.
so and then I stopped
Aha moment.
asking from all this shit, like expecting my dad to do this and to teach me and to guide me and to give me money and to help me and to like do life for me.
Yeah.
I started to realize I'm like, fuck, I'm responsible for all this shit. It's not his job to do any of this. Like my shortcomings are my fault. It's not because he didn't provide your opportunity or whatever. It's my fault. And then I started to take a lot of that responsibility onto myself. And when I did that, it's like something clicked in my dad. Like he's like, oh, you're different. Oh,
Yeah.
you're taking
Crazy.
responsibility. Oh, you're taking action. You're doing things. He started to see what I was doing. And even though to this day, he'll always say, Nemo, I don't understand what the fuck you do or how you talk to that many people in a day or how you even like answer your phone like
Right,
that.
right, right.
Like, I don't get it, but I'm proud of you. I'm very happy with what you become, what you do.
Incredible.
And that was like something that like I worked so fucking hard for because like I was like, I'm not accepting that.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting that like 50 years down the road and
No.
like I have a shit relationship with my father
Fuck
and
that,
my
dude.
kids are like, why the fuck do you hate grandpa? Why does grandpa hate you? Why you
Yeah.
guys? I'm like, no, I have to fix
You
it.
gotta break the pattern, dude.
Break the pattern. That's right.
And man, that's thanks for sharing that first and foremost. That's pretty wild, man. And oh man, like you know what's crazy, Nemo? On my father's deathbed, he asked a question, a very particular question. He didn't ask about the money, he didn't ask about anything surface level. He literally said, he said, "Hey, was I a good person?" Again, he didn't ask about the money, he didn't ask about anything surface level, whatever the case was. And when he said that, it made me really think. It's like, damn, dude, that's that point when you know you're checking out,
Yeah.
when you know you're about to go into the next realm or wherever
Hmm.
the fuck you go, you go. You just want to know that you're a good person. Like like how did people perceive me,
Yeah.
right? And even towards like your father's obviously still alive, right?
Yeah.
But even you wanna know that, like, how was my relationship with him? Which is kind of like even saying, like, how do I show up for him? How does he show up for me? You want that
Mm.
connection, you know? Um, yeah, it's kinda crazy, dude. It's crazy how life goes full circle. I remember when my dad was on his deathbed, the moment that solidified me knowing that I want to have kids was a moment where we knew he was in his final moments. We had the
Yeah.
doctor staying there. He passed in my sister's house. And it was one of those moments where everybody had went to bed, and it was me, the nurse, my girlfriend at the time was sleeping in the living room, my 2 sisters were upstairs, my brother was downstairs. I couldn't leave my dad's side, but he had already been kind of, like, unconscious at this point, and he was just, like, breathing, and I was there, and I was talking to the nurse as I was looking at him. I was like, "Can you come here? Can you just check him out real quick? 'Cause I feel like something's off." She comes over, checks him out, does a little fucking telescope thing or whatever it is. He's like, "No, everything's fine." I was like, "Okay." She goes back 5, maybe 7 minutes later. I'm like, "You need to come back here and check something out. Something's going on." She comes back, does the same thing. She's like, "Oh, he's passing. These are his final moments." She's like, "Do you wanna go get your siblings?" I run upstairs, fucking grab my sisters, run downstairs, grab my brother, and we all circle around pretty much a bed just like this. I was literally here. This was my dad. I had his hand. My sister my two sisters and my brother were right there. And I just saw the world flash by my eyes. A man that once took care of me, I was now taking care of him in his final moments.
Wow.
And that was the moment where I was like, wow, this is fucking powerful. Because now look at what this man's created. He has 3 children who are standing along his bedside here. And this guy's checked out. He's moving on right now.
Mhm.
There's nothing you can do to stop this, you know?
Yeah.
And it was the moment where it was just like, wow, man, this is the point of life. Like, I genuinely think, like, how sad would that be for so many people that experience this, where you just die alone?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have any of that connection with your kids, your children, whatever
Yeah.
it is, you know, and then asking yourself in your final stages, was I a good person? It's just like the icing on the cake for me. And the craziest part was when he passed away, his breath he got really shallow. It was like, and then it just went, and on the last like exhale, he smiled. I swear to God, he smiled. He died at exactly 12 p.m. This man was always on time his entire life. It was just like, of course it was him. Like, of course he passes away
Yeah,
on
yeah,
time.
yeah, on
Like,
time.
smiles to say though, Nemo, like,
Holy
I'm here
fuck.
now. And in the 2 days prior to him passing, he was talking to his sister and his brother, my uncle, my aunts, who had passed away,
Mhm.
who were already on the other side. And he was
Yeah.
like, "No, Tia Kata, fuck off. I don't want to see you. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here." He was like talking, having like illusions with people who were already dead.
Yeah.
And it was like crazy to see, dude. And I was just like, wow, this is an interesting thing, man. Life.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. It was a real moment.
Dude, speaking of life, what was your biggest mistake?
Oof. Biggest mistake. It's a solid question, man. Let me take a moment to just actually think about that real quick. I think always, always, always leading from the heart is never going to lead you down the wrong path. But there's definitely been times in my life where I feel like other emotions got the best of me. Specifically when, even my girlfriend Sabrina, who had passed away, I got her pregnant at that time too. And at that time, I didn't want to have anything to do with like a baby or anything like that. So I carry a lot of guilt to a certain degree, but it was her decision at the end of the day where she knew she didn't want to have the baby, so she wanted to
Yeah.
have the abortion. But it was kind of just like how I treated her at the end of it. Like as soon as she had the abortion, it was just like, all right, cool. Well, I'm done here. Like it was a very young, like immature mindset. And then 3 days later, she had passed away. I got the phone call, and it was just like, I don't know if that's necessarily a mistake. It was a mistake in how I treated her.
Yeah.
And when you ask me that question, that's just me being super vulnerable. I could give you some surface level, like, my business, XYZ,
Yeah, yeah,
fuck
yeah.
it. Like, but truthfully, like, that's something that always stuck with me, which is, yeah, I think one of the bigger mistakes where, I don't know, it's like, hey, let me see how I could have done that better. Let me analyze that, audit that. And at the time, again, I was younger and different mindset, different story and whatnot. But I think if I could go back, I would redo that type of behavior or treatment kind of thing.
Amazing, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I think so.
No, that's very, very interesting because a lot of people always answer some kind of business or things like that. But I think that's a very heavy one.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I have a lot of personally for me internal work, and I want to state this here as well, where it's just like a lot of people will see my life online and they'll see whatever they choose to view it as, like, oh, Paulie's fucking living life, doing that. I am. Everything you see online is very well what it is. I'm not gonna cap, but at the same time, I am like the advocate for someone who should be a drug addict, who should be, a fucking alcoholic or whatever, and not amount to anything in my life because I have so much baggage that could easily be the story used as the baggage to not amount to anything in my
Boom.
life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's also the beauty of it. Like that's again, like that's the recipe for a real, I think, man is going through everything that man's gone through and still come out, still wake up the next day with a smile on his face, or doesn't matter how hard the day got to, but when the clock strikes fucking 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., when you wake up again and you have that inner strength to be like, yesterday was fucked, but hey, I'm gonna run this back, and we're gonna give this everything we got again, and then go through that same pattern again and again. A week later, a month later, a year later, it's hard, man. But that's the beauty of life. For me, I knew I always wanted to at least amount to something. I think again that comes to what I was saying earlier about my mom always saying, "Hey, you're here for greatness. You're I believe in you." All this stuff. So when you have a North Star that
Yeah.
you know you want to be more, I want to be used as a force for good in the world. I want to inspire people, right? When you're doing fuck shit, like going out in the club and getting drunk or doing whatever you're doing and it's not aligned with your North Star, you know that at the end of the day, there's an inner conflict with how you feel and how you want to show up. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's for everybody, but for me personally, I really feel like that's what kind of gets me back on track. Where it's like, hey man, like you had your fun, but like, hey, like you're in a fucking jail cell right now. Like, what are you
Yeah, yeah,
doing,
yeah, yeah,
dude?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
your shit together, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, so let's do a rapid fire round.
Okay,
Quick questions, simple answer, whatever comes to mind.
cool.
Book that changed your life.
How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie.
Amazing. Love that one. What would 18-year-old you say about you right now?
Good fucking work, bro, but don't get complacent. You got a lot more work to do.
Amazing. Biggest red flag in a person
Female or male?
in general.
Female, I'm like fucking male friends. My girlfriend's gonna hate me for that right now. She's gonna see that. I'm like, my chista, fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But in general though, loyalty.
Loyalty.
Loyalty
I
in
love it.
regards to just like
Yeah.
I like again, you may have heard this online, but like I don't like to do business with people that cheat on their spouse willingly. Hey, if you're gonna be unloyal, then say it.
Mhm.
Don't be the guy that's coward and sneaking around the house, coming in and
Mm.
acting like you can have it like that, but then really you're like cheating on your spouse or whatever. Because if you're cheating on someone like that close to you, then what the fuck? Who am I? You're gonna eventually, I think, cross that road.
Yep. Best money you ever spent?
Fucking Thailand hand jobs. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Best money I ever
Ladyboys,
spent.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Best money I ever spent, man. Fucking, I know this is rapid fire, but it's for other people. For other people. When I give, simply, there's a homeless guy down the street. It doesn't even have to be money. I give him my shoes. I give him money sometimes. Just seeing that actually means something to someone else. It's always the best feeling. It's never money that is for me.
What's one belief you've changed your mind on recently?
What's one belief that I recently changed my mind on? Not needing permission from other people. Tap into that.
Tap into that one. That's a big one.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Not yeah. That's rapid fire or not.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
not needing permission from other people, man. Like again, fuck your opinion. I'ma do me, and at the end of the day, your opinion, your relevance to a certain degree, you can only respect the words spoken, and the words only hold weight from a person who you respect. In my opinion, so I don't need anybody's permission now to be me, to really be me,
Yeah.
authentically come out online, do what I'm doing. I've always been online, and I haven't really tried or whatever, but again, even myself, I have doubts to this day where it's like, man, like, did I say that right? What if someone does think that? But then it's like, no, dude. Again, North Star, reconnect with yourself and be like, no, dude, that's how I felt. Then that's what I'm gonna say. I think so.
I love it.
Yeah.
Bro, final words. If you had 60 seconds to leave a message for the world, what would it be?
Wow. Be you. Be authentically you. Be you. Be authentically you, and show up always with the right pure intentions. Because at the end of the day, again, you know what your intentions are. You know how you feel about certain things. For me personally, I know that I feel like I'm a force for good in the world too. So if you feel that way, then you can never lead yourself down the wrong path. I really do feel that.
Bro, fucking love it, man. How can people get in touch with you?
Instagram's my main social media platform. Peekfreen, PEEK _FREEN. Yeah, Peak Freen, Instagram. I'm gonna be coming out more on like long form content, YouTube, and be doing my own podcast. I do have a podcast, the Paule Theodorou audio experience, but for now, Instagram is my main platform.
I love it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking amazing, dude. Thank you so much, brother. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Hey, real quick, I do have a present for you. I have a gift that I brought from the last time that I saw you, man. I hope so. You like cigars, right?
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead and open that up.
Oh, my man.
I was like, wait. I'm pretty sure he likes cigars, because if he doesn't, it's borderline like offensive. You think I smoke? You saying I look like I smoke?
No, I love cigars. You can't go wrong with that.
You know this place, Absolute Cigar?
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I got you 2 types.
Bro. Boom, we got here. Arturo Fuente King. Love this.
Dominican Republic.
Amazing. Amazing.
This is a natural leaf, and this is the other type there.
You see this? This other guests, example. He's leading by example. I want more gifts. I think I deserve some gifts on the podcast.
Absolutely. When
right?
you set something up like this, to this level of professionalism, you actually should.
Brother, I love this.
Yeah,
my man.
Go ahead,
Thank
enjoy
you so
those.
much. I will.
Appreciate
Absolutely,
you,
brother. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Until next time, guys. Peace out. This conversation is a reminder that pain can shape you, not destroy you. Paule showed us that resilience, authenticity, and purpose are choices we make every single day, no matter where we come from or what we've been through. If this episode resonated with you, make sure to follow, subscribe, and share with somebody that needs to hear it. Thanks for listening to Nemology. I'm your host, Nemo, and I'll see you in the next episode.